Hello everyone, welcome to today's lesson on simplifying sets. Now let's look at what a set is. A set is an expression that includes a square root, cube root, or other root symbol. A set cannot be simplified to remove the root symbol. Let's look at some examples of sets. So we have root 2, root 7, and cube root of 5. Now, we cannot simplify this, but even if we can, at the end of it, in the answer, we'll still have the root sign in it. And when you check the answers of these numbers in a calculator, you will realize that the number of decimal places do not end. Some examples that are not sets. We have square root 4. Now, square root 4 is equal to 2 when we simplify it, because 4 is a square number. So if we do the inverse, which is the square root, we get 2. 16 is a square number, so root 16 will be 4. And cube root of 27 is 3. Now, the inverse of cube root is cube. So if we want to check whether our answer is correct, we just have to cube the 3. And this is equal to 3 times 3 times 3. And that will give us 27. So when you check the answers that we've got at the bottom, you realize that we do not have the square root or any root in them. So these are not sets. Let's look at the two examples on the screen. Now, in the first one, we are asked to work out root 4 times root 9. And this is equal to 2 times 3, which is equal to 6. And in the second example, we have 4 times 9, all in a square root. So this can be written as square root of 36. And 36 is a square number, so square root of that will give us 36. So when you check the two answers, you can see that the two answers are the same. So this brings us to the general rule for multiplication of sets, which is square root of A times square root of B is equal to square root of AB, which is A times B, and is the same thing that we see in the example above. So if we use the rule down here, we can say that square root of 4 times square root of 9 is the same as square root 4 times 9, which is equal to 36, and the answer is 6. Another rule that we have under multiplication is square root of A times square root of A is equal to A. What this means is that if A is a number, for example 3, then if we have square root 3 times square root 3, the answer should be 3. And how do we prove that? When we use the general rule, this square root 3 times square root 3, this will give us 3 square root 3 times 3, and this is equal to root 9. And 9 is a square number, so square root of 9 will give us 3. So when we have two sets multiplying, their square root and the numbers in each square root is the same, then the answer is equal to the number. So we are going to look at how we can apply this rule to simplify sets. Now, in these examples, we are asked to simplify root 18, root 20, and root 48. When we are asked to simplify sets, what we have to think about is the square number, which is a factor of the number in the square root. So when we pick 18, what square number is a factor of 18? And we can see that 9 is a factor of 18 and 9 is a square number. So we write square root 18 as 9 times 2. And 9 times 2 will give us 18. And this is the same as we are applying the rule for multiplication. This is the same as root 9 times root 2. And root 9 is equal to 3. So we will get 3 times root 2. And this is equal to 3 root 2. So we have simplified root 18. And if you check our final answer, because 18 is a surd, we couldn't remove the root from the answer. We still see the root in the final answer. In the next question, we think of a square number that is a factor of 20. And what square number is that? 4. So we can write root 20 as 4 times 5. And this is the same as root 4 times root 5. And root 4 is equal to 2. So we get 2 times root 5. So our final answer will be 2 root 5. 2 root 5 is the same as 2 times 5. So if you see 3 root 7, this is the same as 3 times root 7. In the next example, which is root 48, we have to think of a square number. Sometimes it's difficult for us to think of the highest square number. So you can do it step by step. So in this case, let's do it step by step and see. We will still arrive at the same answer. So we think of 4. 4 times what will give us 48. So we can write this as 4 times 12 because 4 is a square number. So this will be root 4 times root 12, which is equal to 2 times root 12. And this will give us 2 root 12. Now, when you check the number in the square root, which is 12, we can still simplify 12. Always check whether the number in the square root can be simplified. So to simplify 12, we think of a square number that is a factor of 12, and that square number is 4. So we can write this as 2 times root 4 times 3. And this is equal to 2 times root 4 times root 3. So this will give us 2 times 2 times root 3. Now, when you are multiplying an integer or integers by a surd, the integers multiply themselves and surds also multiply themselves. So this one, 2, it's going to be 2 times 2. An integer outside a surd cannot multiply a number inside a square root. So this will give us 4 root 3. Now, another person would do it this way. This 48 can be written as root 48 can be written as root 16 times 3, because 16 is a square number, and this will give us root 16 times root 3, and root 16 is equal to 4. So 4 times root 3 will give us root 3, which is the same answer that we got here. So if you cannot think of the highest square number that can divide the number in the square root, then you can do it step by step as I have done on the screen here. Now, please pause the video and have a go. So in this example, root 150, let's think of a square number. So that square number is going to be 25. So we write this as 25 times 6. So this will give us root 25 times root 6. And root 25 is equal to 5 times root 6. So we get 5 root 6. Now, in the second question, if we can't think of the highest square number, let's do it step by step. So the first square number I'm going to use is 25. So I'm going to write this as root 25 times 20. And this will give me root 25 times root 20. And this is equal to 5 times root 20, which is 5 root 20. Let's check the number in the square root. So the number is 20. 20 can still be simplified. So, and the square number is 4. So we write this as 5 times root 4 times 5. And this is equal to 5 times root 4 times root 5. And this will give us 5 times 2 times root 5, which is equal to 10 root 5. Now let's check using a different square number. So root 500 can be written as 100 times 5, because 100 is a square number. So we write this as root 100 times root 5. And root 100 is equal to 10. So we have 10 times root 5, which is equal to 10 root 5. And this answer is the same as the answer we got down there. This brings us to the end of today's lesson. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. Kindly subscribe to my channel and share with your friends and families to also subscribe. See you soon in my next video.